That's a handsome bike. But you know what's even better? This one. That's gonna be mine. Man, things have come a long way. I think it looks so good. Very handsome. Got some decently burly handguards for stock. Wow. Gonna get some Touratech bags for it. Side stand foot. A little protector for that little area right there that's just, of course they're gonna charge another $40 for that. Oh well. Gonna get heated grips. Gonna get the heated seat, which is surprisingly only $200. It's crazy. I thought it'd be like $600. So heated seat, heated grips, stock exhaust. Not gonna do anything with that. Cases in the rack are, Jesus, like $1,500, which is standard for Touratech stuff, but got enough money into it. Not gonna spend any more than that. These guys just wheeled that Tenere 700, I believe that's 2022, in here for somebody else. The Norden 901 I just bought, and the ground clearance officially on the Tenere is 9.4 something inches, 9.42, and the ground clearance on the Norden is 9.9 according to the official specs. I don't have a tape measure on me right now. I'm gonna go see if I can track one down, but it's just kind of interesting looking at these straight on. You can see how much taller the tank and handlebars are on the Tenere, whereas the Norden just looks almost like small by comparison. And they are aligned more or less front to back. The Norden is not farther back. Anyway, let me try a different angle here. So I've made sure they're aligned. You can see the Tenere likes to lay over more. It just literally leans over more than the Norden does. Norden is in no danger of going over the other way. It just doesn't lean over quite as extreme. Anyway, as you can see, the foot pegs are aligned. And coming over here and just look at them straight on. I mean, I'm holding this at eye height, 5'10" off the ground. The Norden just looks smaller. The Yamaha, the T7, just looks more dominant with the long gold stanchions. And yet this actually has more ground clearance and more suspension travel front and rear, only by like 0.4 of an inch in the back and 0.5 up front. But so look how much taller the handlebars are on the T7. It's crazy. And yet the Norden, I mean, the Norden could definitely, you could put a handlebar riser on there, raise it up ½ inch, go forward ½ inch, just to get a little better off-road riding position, which is kind of what the T7 does by just standard here. But you can see how much, I mean, look at the difference in what they have. Quite a bit smaller on the Norden. Not that's a bad thing. It's just the seat height is a little bit taller and narrower. Obviously looks like a 2x6, 2x8 here on the Tenere. Anyway, just interesting. Nothing bad or good about either one. I really enjoyed riding the Tenere last year and had a great time on it. And standing up on it's very easy. I don't think there's gonna be any problem standing up on this. It's just, there's a little more sweep in these bars, and raising it up and going forward both ½ inch in both dimensions would probably help if you're like 5'10" higher, 5'10" or higher. But yeah, both very handsome bikes. I'd buy both if I could, and an Africa Twin too. But picking between them for me, because I did put some miles sitting on this, I just found this to be too firm and narrow. I mean, that actually fits my butt, and it's still narrow enough in here that you can, you have no problem standing and throwing a leg over on a hill or something. But there's just more nice firm support here, and this is really squishy and basically meant to be like a puffier version of a dirt bike seat. So depending on what you're going for, I think the Norden both looks better and has more comfortable seat, and the lower handlebars are inconsequential because the fit is just great. And then of course there's more suspension travel and ground clearance on the Norden. So the other thing I was noticing is the hand guards. They're certainly not bark busters, but these are just, they're definitely going to take a lot more effort to break. Branches, rocks, obviously falls, off-camber falls on a rocky hill. Obviously something's eventually going to take these out, and bark busters are when needed. But these are just absolutely bonkers ridiculous. I mean, they're useless. They'll block light branches and that's it. Not really faulting Yamaha for putting cheapy stuff on. They're trying to build to a price point, obviously, but definitely better quality there. And this is not at all a bash on the Yamaha, but this tail section is obviously very pared down. It's meant to have like a hugger type, waterproof bag that's very dirt bike style. This is obviously built for carrying something more substantial and even a pillion, whereas you wouldn't even dream of it on this. It's just a backup plan. So definitely happy to have clear turn signals too, versus those. This just looks kind of, it's a very small tail light surface area. I guess the blinkers are very obvious, which is not a bad thing, but these are almost the same size. They just look more modern. And then of course having a bigger rack, so you can just put a big thing and there's plenty of strap points to strap things to. Whereas with the Yamaha, it's a much more minimalistic tail section to save weight. I don't actually know what the difference in the weight is, so I'll have to look that up, but it's not much. For how much bigger the Norden looks, and just kind of the low gas tank, obviously that's a lot wider compared to the the high gas tank, or maybe it's under the seat, I can't remember on the Tenere, but that's very minimal and narrow, which is a good thing off-roading. But at least where it's fat and wide here where the fuel tank is, it's pretty well protected, and I'm not so worried about the radiator. It's already got some decent protection here, plastic, but I'm probably gonna get the little $45 part that fits in there to keep that from getting just gunked up with rocks and stuff and taking the horn out. But yeah, anyway, hardly comprehensive. I've just wanted to give people a view side by side because I haven't been able to find this on YouTube myself. Both very handsome, both very off-road capable. Just Tenere is probably what you want if you're going for a narrower feel and more of a dirt bike feel. This is kind of like a way lightened up GS with about the same suspension travel, if not more, cargo carrying capability, and plenty of power. Anyway, can't wait to take it home.